What advice would you give to a team considering migrating also?
I think I'd recommend, I think of it as in 3 stages. Like the first thing you want to do is try to be safe about it because it is a really critical area of the code base. You don't want any security sort of incidents and bugs to go out. So the first thing I would do is try to put some guards in place. I don't know if you all did this. Like we have like a feature flag to sort of hide the new system whilst the legacy one is continuously sort of operating in the background. I think you then want to obviously like drive to parity. So the way that we would approach it is like you want to really be clear on like what the behavior of the system should be, and to like try to get to confidence with that in any way that you can. So the 2 ways I think are like through like writing tests or using integration tests or writing new like sort of policy tests within like Polar if you're using OSO to describe what the behavior of the system should be, really being clear on that, and then altering the logic and like the data and the data such that like you get to parity with the legacy system. And I think the third thing would be to approach it incrementally. So like we said earlier, like you don't want to do like a huge design of like how do we get this entire thing over to OSO. You want to do it sort of one permission at a time. Ideally, like the least risky permission, like maybe you're an internal user with like really simple sort of super admin logic and like getting that working and being confident in that, and then taking on some of the more complex cases and sort of almost branching your way out like that.
It's funny that you say that. Sorry, go ahead.
I think all the same rules of good software engineering apply, right?
Yeah.
Like you want to be shipping small units of code
Totally.
all the time instead of one big chunk at the end.
Yeah.
That's very scary, right? You want to make it not scary by shipping tiny units of code if you can.
100%, yeah.
Some of the first questions I always ask of like a code base that needs to migrate to OSO is, what do you do for telemetry and what do you do for feature flagging? Because telemetry and feature flagging are like 2 of the necessary ingredients for doing this in a way that you can feel good about. That you're measuring the parity between the decisions and you have an ability to decide whether or not the questions are going to OSO or not. If you have something like wildly misconfigured in your app, you don't want to like suddenly start spewing errors. If you can toggle between OSO actually enforcing this decision versus you just check the decision, measure it, and don't enforce it, that's also nice. If you think everything is looking good and somebody's like, hey, like this feature's not working, you just throw the feature flag off, and you always have that peace of mind. Feature flagging, telemetry, and then there's a bunch of other
And to your point earlier as well, I think when you have hidden behind this, like a feature flag of sorts, like you can monitor the parity in production, right? Like using something like OpenTelemetry or whatever the customers like using. I think like Datadog, some people use that too. So you can use that as a vehicle to like figure out if your actual users using the product again, the results that you expect.